PCBC court. All rise. You may be seated. Good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Noah Sipar here, and welcome back to episode 4 of the PCBC, the Pennsylvania College Basketball Court. This court is now in session. Today we're going to be going over a recap from Monday's game against Cal. Looking at the D2 rankings, there are still 3 teams in the top 25 from the P sector in the tournament. Then we're going to look at the matchups from Monday. Then look at a preview of tonight's matchup, and then the other games going on in PSAC conference. With that being said, Division II has still 3 teams in the top 25 in their top 25 rankings. You got East Stroudsburg, Cal, and Gannon. East Stroudsburg ranked 15th. They were last week ranked 19th. Cal coming off its huge win against IUP, huge in quotation marks. They were 17th last week, they're now ranked 14th in the country. And Gannon, who was ranked 12th, is now inside the top 10 thanks to Jordan Fee's incredible renaissance of Gannon this year. They are now ranked 9th in the country. Recap of Monday's game. And my God, we're going to make this about as brutal as it could possibly be because there's a lot of question marks going to be going on this episode. First half was absolutely a slugfest of missed shots and bricks. If I had to say one word about this game, it's just bricks. In the first half, Cal only outscored IUP 21-18 in the first half. In the first half, Cal shot 7 of 29 from the floor, 24.14%. 2 of 10 from 3, 20%. 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 71.43%. IUP in the first half shot 7 of 35, 20% from the floor, 2 of 18 from 3 at 11%, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line at 100%. In the second half, Cal outscored IUP 44-39. Cal shot 13 of 28 from the floor, 46.4%. 1 of 9 from 3, 11. And 17 of 19 in the second half. 19 free throws in the second half. 89.5%. IUP in the second half. Shot 14 of 34 from the floor, 41.4%. 2%. 6 of 18 from 3, 33%. 5 of 9 from the free throw line, 55.6%. Overall, Cal shot 20 of 57 from the free field, 35.1%. 3 of 19 from the three-point line at 15.8%. And an abysmal being good, well, I guess not if you want to go by what we're going to be talking about here in a moment. 22 of 26 from the free throw line. Hello, Ryan. Good to be seeing you back on, joining this stream again. We'll see you and your brother later tonight. My girlfriend actually will be in attendance for that game. So, Clarion grad alert coming soon. Anyways, 22 of 26 from the free throw line, 84.6%. IUP shot 21 of 69 from the floor, 30.4%. 8 of 36 from 3, 22%. And 7 of 11 from the free throw line, 63.6%. We unfortunately had our first technical foul of the entire season come on what was to be a plethora of questionable calls. I even looked back at the IUP broadcast of this game from Monday, and they were saying that Jalen Stewart's technical foul should not have been called, and that it was a very soft call. That's fine. We can discuss it later, Ryan. We have a lot of comments. Don't worry. This is going to be like I said, it's going to be a brutal episode. Well, actually, I will get to that here in a moment. Monday's games. Another 7-1 performance. Thanks to Rep Ball. I missed the chance of going 8-0. Final score 65-57. Cal won. KJ McClurg, the top scorer in the PSAC, only scored 16 points, 5 of 14 from the floor, and went 0-2 for 3 for a guy who shot 45% from 3 and was warming up like he was the next Steph Curry out there. Not the case today. 8 rebounds, 1 assist. Jermaine Hall Jr., 11 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. And I agree, the tech was uncalled for. Very unnecessary. 26-year-old, or I used to call him the old man, Zion Collins, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. The one guy who came off the bench was former Hickory alumni Donald Whitehead Jr., guy that I know a little bit about from looking at the District 10 games. He plays in the region of my hometown of Slippery Rock. He had 12 points and hit. There are only 3 of the freaking second half. Gervin Clark led the way for IUP, only shooting 7 of 23 from the floor, 2 of 12 from 3. Had 21 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 assists. Ethan Porterfield with another 3 cements himself into the top 5 all-time in IUP history in terms of career points. At 1,661, he is 17 points away from tying for Brandon Norfleet for 4th all-time. That could potentially end up being the case as they face a Clarion team. Porterfield has done very well in his career against he's done very well against Clarion in these games, usually averages around 18, 20 points a game. 16 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist. Jalen Stewart had the 1 technical foul for IEP, scored 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. The problem with this game was the fouls were just absolutely absurd. 24-16 personal fouls. 2 guys for IUP fouled out, Sarp Furton and Bryce Radford. Radford coming off his historic 27-point performance. Went 2 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3, 1 rebound, and 0 assist. KJ Rhodes only playing 31 minutes, 3 points. He was 1 of 2 from 3 rebounds. IUP had 16 offensive rebounds compared to Cal's 11. Just the first half was absolutely abysmal. If they would have shot well in the second half, they would have had a chance to pull off this upset. Games I got correct, obviously, without IUP. All the other games I got correct. Millersville defeating Westchester, which was going to be a good game. They only won by 3 points, 89-86. East Stroudsburg blows out Kutztown by 29. Cal, of course, beating IUP. I'm calling that a question mark. Mercyhurst beating Clarion by 10. Shepherd beating Shippensburg by 20. Lock Haven beating Bloomsburg by 12. SRU beating Edinburgh by 7. And Seton Hill beating Pitt Johnstown by 15. With that being said, we go to our biggest dud of the day, and 1,000% it was the ref. Last week, if you didn't know, was PSAC Officials Week, where they were supposed to celebrate the commencementship of how the referees have done. We're supposed to be respectful of the referees. But let me ask you this question. How many of those fouls, if you're an IUP fan and you watch this game, and go back and watch this game, how many of those were true technical fouls? Because the technical foul was uncalled for. There was at least 3 or 4 there was too many calls I can't even predict that were out of the question. That I think a lot of those calls were just trying to give Cal the favor, but that's just my personal opinion. That's by itself was going to be the biggest dud of the day. Until I found this video from a good buddy of mine, Jack Gallagher, who is one of Edinburgh's top players. He is one of Edinburgh's top 3 players that I would put on their list of best players. This had to be the biggest excuse of terrible officiating I've seen in a long time. Take a look at this play. Take a look at this. So this is a 3-point game with Edinburgh only down by 3 in a game against SRU on Monday. Take a look at this. So SRU possesses the ball. Right there. Right there. How in the world, how in the world is this not called for travel? I would be losing my mind over this call. Look at the kids. They're like, how is this not a travel? You look at the video replay of this, and no joke, shout out to Jack Gallagher's dad for actually filming this, Mike Gallagher, because this is absolute ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I mean, great defense by Gallagher, and I think that's number 2 for Edinburgh. I don't know what his name is, but they both did an incredible job of guarding Jomo Goings, and no foul, which wasn't a foul, but they don't call a travel in one of the most predictable. That is 10 times out of 10, that should be called a travel. Like, I'm sorry. How in the world do PSAC officials get recognition for trying to be good when you blow games like this? This was a 3-point game in a 1-possession game in a crucial moment for Edinburgh. If they miss the playoffs because of some stupid call like that, that's an absolute joke. I mean, I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. I can't believe that wasn't called for a travel. So congratulations, PSAC officials. You have been chosen the biggest dud of Monday. Never thought that would be the case, but congratulations. You somehow blew to at least 2 games this on Monday. The Cal game and then that game against SRU and Edinburgh. Absolutely abysmal, the fact they would not call a travel there in the dying minutes of a crucial game that ended up only SRU only won by 7 points. But anyways, that's the discussion I want to talk about. So, very disappointing performance from Monday. IEP played very well on defense. They shut down Cajun McClurk for a guy who had been averaging like 24 points a game. And I just think there was a lot of questionable calls in Monday's performance. Anyways, moving on from that, we look at the PSAC standings from those games. East Stroudsburg and Lock Haven tied for first place at 11-2 in conference play. East Stroudsburg ranked 15th, 17-2 overall. Lock Haven 13-5 in conference play. A team that is actually outside the Atlantic Region playoffs. A team that we may have to watch out for pretty soon. On a 9-game winning streak right now. Excuse me. 13-5 overall. Millersville in third, 15-4 with a 10-3 record in conference play, beating Westchester, who's now fourth at 12-7, record of 9-4 in conference play. Shepherd remains fifth, 8-10, 5-8 in conference play. Mansfield holding a 2-game lead with 9 games left in the regular season at 6-12 with a record of 4-9 conference play. Bloomsburg, 7th, 4-15 overall, 2-11 in conference play. Shippensburg, 5-14, 2-12 conference play. Kutztown, 2-17, dead last in the PSAC East with a record of 1-12 conference play. PSAC West with the win against IEP. Cal Rakes jumps over Gannon as the number 1 seed in the PSAC West at 17-2 with a record of 11-2 in conference play, ranked 14th. Gannon ranked 9th after not playing on Monday. 17-2 overall, 11-2 conference play. IEP, 3rd in PSAC West, still up 3 games between 3rd and 4th place in the PSAC West. 10-3 in conference play, 13-6 overall. Seton Hill, 12-7 in 4th place with a 7-6 record in conference play. SRU is in 5th place at 9-10 with a 7-6 record in conference play. Mercyhurst is 6th. 6-7 in conference play, 10-11 overall. Clarion, the team we are seeing tonight, 6-13, 4-9 in conference play. Edinburgh should be quote-unquote 5-8, but that's a judgment for another day. 4-9 in conference play, 5-14. And Pitt Johnstown, 3-11 in conference play, 5-15 overall in the season on an 8-game losing streak. Shippensburg on a 9-game losing streak. Lock Haven on a 9-game winning streak. Matchups going into tonight. We got 9 games on the schedule. I think that's the only time we're going to be seeing I think this is the last time we see 9 games on the calendar for the regular season. Yes. Yeah. So this is the last time we get to see a 9-game schedule for the regular season, which is exciting. And starting that off, there was one game at 7:30, the other 8 at 7:30 p.m. 7 o'clock game, Cheney, former PSAC, the team that has the most overall PSAC conference championships with 15, basically was a basement dweller for the final 3 to 4 years of their existence in the PSAC before Shepherd took over the 18th slot in the PSAC conference. Cheney actually does not have... I tried to find a record as best as I could, but unfortunately Cheney does not update their schedule. So I wrote them as NA, not available. They are taking on Shippensburg, who is 5-14, 2-12 in conference play. And then 7:30 games, we start off with 15th ranked East Stroudsburg, 17-2 and 11-2 overall in conference play. Traveling to Mansfield, 6-12, 4-9 in conference play. Westchester on the road against Bloomsburg. Westchester 12-7 with a 9-4 record. Bloomsburg 4-15 and 2-11. Shepherd traveling to Kutztown. The Rams 8-10 with a record of 5-8 in conference play. Taking on Kutztown 2-17 with a record of 1-12 in conference play. The biggest matchup of the day is going to be Lock Haven versus Millersville. Lock Haven in second in the PSAC East at 13-5 with 11-2 record in conference play. Traveling to Millersville, who's 15-4 with a record of 10-3 in conference play. Seton Hill travels north to Erie to take on Gannon, 9th ranked Gannon. The Griffins 12-7 with a record 7-6 in conference play. Gannon 17-2, 11-2 in conference play. Edinburgh travels down south to Cal. Edinburgh 5-14, 4-9 in conference play. Cal atop the PSAC West at 17-2 with a record of 11-2 in conference play. Mercyhurst in SRU, another crucial game heading to my hometown at Morrow Fieldhouse. The Lakers 10-11 with a record of 6-7 in conference play. SRU 9-10 with a record of 7-6 in conference play. And then IUP versus Clarion. IUP traveling north on 28-66 to head to about 50 minutes to the town of Clarion, Pennsylvania, roughly about 45 to 50 minutes from my hometown of Slippery Rock. This is actually the closest college facility, besides Slippery Rock, to my house. So, very excited. You better believe I will be in attendance for that game. This is my third of 4 games my third game in a week that I've been able to attend. With that, looking at our preview, IUP is 13-6 with a record of 10-3 in conference play, a team that is sitting in the bubble right now to make the Atlantic Region Tournament. Third in the PSAC West after their 8-point loss to Cal in a very questionable game. Clarion 6-13 with a record of 4-9 in conference play, ranked 7th in the PSAC West on a 5-game losing streak after losing to Mercier 74-64. This is the 181st all-time meeting between these two programs. IUP has a pretty reasonable margin in this all-time series. IUP leads 122-58. They went 2-0 last year, and beat Clarion on the road in what was a surprisingly interesting trap game. They only won 70-63 at Clarion last year, as they were still ranked the number 1 team. As IUP was still ranked the number 1 team in the nation. The key stat line in this one is, remember how I was saying Cal was the second longest winning streak at 21 games before? Unfortunately, that streak ended. Well, the longest streak in IUP's basketball history right now still stands, with their matchup favoring against Clarion. IUP has won the last 24 overall matchups between these two programs. IUP has won their last 24 overall matchups against Clarion. I think it was like 2011 was the last time Clarion beat IUP. Looking at their history in a brief perspective standpoint, it was at home, actually. January 22nd, 2011, so 13 years ago, was the last time IEP lost to Clarion. So the streak has done pretty well. Let's see, last matchup, 24 in a row, pretty much easy. They averaged 79.4 points per game in their last 24 matchups against Clarion. Offensively, let's look at the 7 key elements of Noah's fundamentals of PSAC basketball going by PSAC standings. Clarion's offense leads IEP. Clarion scoring 73.8 points per game. IEP is at 70.3 points per game. Clarion ranked 12th. IEP ranked 16th. IEP's defense played again. Had a phenomenal game, shutting down KJ McClurg, but unfortunately was not able to secure a win. But still, 66.6 points allowed per game. Third in the PSAC compared to Clarion, who was giving up 78.3 points per game, ranked 10th in the PSAC. Field goal percentage is pretty close. Clarion shooting 43.6%, ranked 14th. IEP shooting 42.4%, ranked 15th. Field goal percentage, again, it's very close. IEP has a slight advantage, 32.9% from 3. Clarion shooting 32.6% from 3. IEP ranked 11th. Clarion ranked 12th. Free throw percentage. Both these teams do not shoot particularly well in the free throw shooting. Clarion shooting 69.3% and ranked 13th. IEP ranked dead last at 64.7%. Rebounds, again, pretty close. IEP's 37.9, Clarion 37.1. IEP ranked 4th, Clarion ranked 8th. The assist-to-turnover ratio, this is where IEP can easily take this game over and probably blow this game out of the water, is the turnovers. IEP played really well in its last 2 games before the matchup against Cal. Still did not do terrible, only having 12 turnovers. But the assist-to-turnover ratio, pretty clear. IEP has a huge advantage at 1.23 assists per turnover, ranked 2nd behind Gannon. Clarion is at 0.79, ranked 15th overall in the PSAC. Their top 3 scorers are led by a trio. Clarion's top 3 trio is led by number 4, Cam Kearney, who is 17th in scoring and 23rd in rebounds per game. Points per game, he's at 15.1, rebounds 5.7. Shooting 41.3% from the floor and 36.4% from 3. Steve Kelly, number 10, is scoring 12.4 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, 46% from the floor, 31.7% from 3. And finally, Jason Harris, number 3, is scoring 11 points per game, 4.1 rebounds, and 44.2% from the floor, and only shooting 24.6% from 3. IEP's top 3 is led barely, and I mean barely, by number 11, Ethan Porterfield, who ranks 11th in scoring, 3rd in rebounds, and 20th in field goal percentage. Ethan Porterfield scoring 17.1 points per game, 9.2 rebounds, shooting 43.8% from the floor, and 35.1% from 3. Garvin Clark is just behind him, ranked 12th in scoring, 24th in field goal percentage, and taking a look at the stat lines where he ranks in rebounds, pretty high, I would assume. I didn't even write that down. My apologies. Leaders, rebounding. Garvin Clark is ranked 10th in rebounds at 6.8 rebounds per game. Again, 24th in shooting. At 41.9. Field goal percentage, and then 3-point percentage, 25.9%. Bryce Radford coming off one of his not great games. After scoring 27, only had a total of 5 points, 13.2 points per game, 1.1 rebounds, shooting 43% from the floor, and 43.9% from 3. 3 keys of the game. Number 1, you got to take advantage early. I know in the last game that did not happen, but IEP has done fairly well against Clarion. Do not have a game like it was last year where they start off slow and then you have to come back and try to make this game closer than it should have been. Number 2, don't get trapped. Like I said last year, only a 7-point win at Clarion for a team that had won by over 20 in their last 3 or 4 matchups at Clarion. So just because Clarion is 6-13, 4-9 doesn't mean this is still an easy game. Do not get fooled by Clarion in this game. And number 3, I know a joke. What's better than 24? 25. Can IUP extend their longest streak against any PSAC team? Can they get their 25th straight win against Clarion tonight? Only time is going to tell. Predictions for tonight's matchups. Again, 7-1. Since January 24th, I have a record of 35-5, and since January 27th, 29-3. Overall, 74-28 on the season since December 18th. 725 winning percentage. Starting with our 7 o'clock matchup, Cheney versus Shippensburg. I'm going with Shippensburg. I know Shippensburg's been doing terrible this season, but again, Cheney has not been. I really don't know what Cheney is going to do. I think Shippensburg's finally going to get that crucial win that they've been desperately waiting for. And I think Shippensburg will win. If they don't, then congratulations. You'll be automatically back on here Friday as my biggest dud of Wednesday. So don't be surprised. Either you win or become biggest dud of the day. You choose. East Stroudsburg at Mansfield. East Stroudsburg is going to be an easy pick for me. The Warriors have done really well. I'm going to say they're most likely going to be the 1 seed in the PSAC East. But time will tell. Westchester at Bloomsburg, sticking with the Golden Rams on this matchup. Westchester has been playing really well. Bloomsburg, again, not really that special. They're 2 games out of the playoffs right now. For a team that is, for the team that's 2 games ahead of them, Mansfield still trying to look to end an 11-year playoff drought of making the PSAC tournament. Shepherd at Kutztown, another really easy pick. I'm picking Shepherd. I know Kutztown's been playing competitive in a lot of their games, but Shepherd is just a team that I think is should have a pretty good matchup with Kutztown. Our game of the day, Lock Haven at Millersville. I'm picking Millersville, even though they have a better overall record. I'm still saying that Millersville is going to pull off this win at the Pasilla Gymnasium. Should be a really good game from start to finish. Keep an eye out on the dynamic matchup between Justice Schultz of Lock Haven. Excuse me. The matchup between Justice Schultz and Matt Dade. That's going to be a really big, crucial matchup. You're talking about the number 4 scorer, the 4th and 8th highest scorers in the PSAC, respectfully. Schultz ranked 4th, Dade ranked 8th. Should be a really good matchup from start to finish. I would not be surprised if this is going to be I'm going to say 5 points is the max. If this game's over 5 points, that'll be surprising. Scene Hill at Gannon. I'm sticking with Gannon. And this will help increase the lead. Not by much, but still have advantage over Scene Hill. Edinburgh, Cal. I'm unfortunately picking Cal, as I really don't like them right now, especially with that last game. I still have a lot of blood fuming from the last game, but you know what? It is what it is, and we'll just be ready for them when we face them in approximately 4 weeks from today on the 28th of February. Mercyhurst at SRU. I am sticking with SRU in this matchup. It's going to be another close game between these two teams. Mercyhurst could win this game. It's going to be like Lock Haven and Millersville. It's a toss-up game. But I'm sticking with SRU. And then IEP at Clarion is our final matchup of the night. IEP, if we look at the 7 key elements, Clarion has 3. IEP has 4 out of 7 boxes. Defense, field goal percentage, rebounds, and assist to turnover ratio. Clarion has usually been very terrible. To say the least, they've been pretty terrible against IEP. Clarion's been dying to beat us, and unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen again tonight. I'm going to say the streak continues again. This is an easy pick for me. I'm sticking with IEP, even though they lost by 8 against a questionable game against Cal. IUP, I think, is going to want revenge, and they're going to absolutely blow Clarion out of the water tonight. So final vote, IUP over Clarion is going to be your final prediction. Thank you guys for joining the second episode of 3 in this week's series of the PCBC. We will see you on Friday for episode 5 for a recap. And then the next game we'll get a recap of tonight's matchup. And then we'll pretty much just see what else there is to note. Probably not going to be a lot going into Friday's matchup since there's not a lot to discuss other than the matchups. Probably we'll just go over, trying to think. I would say more than likely it's just going to be a recap and then standing wise, and then probably just do a recap of all the games from tonight's matchups. Then may look at a preview of the Mercyhurst game, but might not do that till Wednesday. But anyways, that will do it for this Discord session of the PCBC. Hope you see you guys on Friday for a final episode of the week. Until then, case dismissed. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and thank you all for joining.